Every day, we are exposed to large number of infectious agents. However, only a few of these exposures result in disease. Why so? This is due to the fact that body is able to defend itself from most of these foreign agents. This overall ability of the host to fight the disease is called immunity. It is of two types: innate immunity and acquired. Innate immunity is non-specific type of defense mechanism that is present at the time of the birth and accomplished by providing different types of barriers to the entry of the foreign agents into our body. Innate immunity of having four types of barriers: physical barriers, physiological barriers, cellular barriers, and cytokine barriers. Physical barriers: skin on our body is the main barrier which prevents entry of the microorganism. Mucus coating of the epithelium lining the respiratory, gastrointestinal and urinogenital tracts also helps in trapping the microbes entering our body. Physiological barrier: acids in the stomach, saliva in the mouth, tears from eyes all prevent microbial growth. Cellular barriers: certain types of leukocytes, WBC of our body like polymorphonuclear nucleocytes, PMNL, neutrophils and monocytes, and natural killer types of lymphocytes in the blood as well as macrophages in tissue can phagocytose and destroy microbes. Phagocytes mean eating those microbes just like endocytosis in amoeba. Cytokine barriers: virus infected cells secrete proteins called interferons which protect non-infected cells from further viral infections. Immunity: second type is acquired immunity, on which is a pathogen specific. It is characterized by the memory. This means that our body, when it comes or encounters a pathogen for the first time, produces a response called the primary immune response, which is of low intensity. Subsequent encounter with the same pathogen elicits a highly intensified secondary or amnestic response. The primary and secondary immune response are carried with the help of B lymphocytes and the T lymphocyte cells. The B lymphocyte cells produce an army of proteins in response to pathogen into our blood to fight with them. These proteins are called antibodies. The T cells themselves do not secrete antibodies but help B cells produce them. Each antibody molecule has 4 peptide chains, 2 small called light chains and 2 longer called heavy chains. Hence an antibody is represented as H2L2. Different types of antibodies are produced in our body. IgA, IgM, IgE, IgG are some of them. A carton of an antibody, as you can see, is having 2 light and 2 heavy chain H2L2. Because these antibodies are found in the blood, so this response is called humoral immune response. This is one of the 2 types of our acquired immune response, antibody mediated. The second type is called cell mediated immune response or cell mediated immunity. In case of humoral response, they are receptors or the antigen specific. So specific antigen is producing the specific type of antibodies. In case of cell-mediated immunity, the T lymphocytes mediate CMI very often when some human organs like heart, kidney, eye fail to function satisfactorily. Transplantation is the only remedy to enable the patient to live a normal life. Then a search begins to find a suitable donor. Grafts from just any source, any animal, another primate or any human beings cannot be made since the graft would be rejected sooner or later. Tissue matching, blood group matching are essential before undertaking any graft transplant, and even after this the patient has to take immunosuppressants all his or her life. The body is able to differentiate self and non-self, and the cell-mediated immune response is responsible for the graft rejection. The macrophages of our body do not allow these organs to remain in our body because they are the natural killers. So these immunosuppressants decreases the immunity of our body so that they can survive. But the drawback is that they are more prone to any type of the diseases. Active and passive immunity. When a host is exposed to antigens, which may be in the form of living or dead microbes or other proteins, antibodies are produced in the body. This type of immunity is called active immunity, but it is slow and takes time to give its full effective response. Injecting the microbes deliberately during immunization or infectious organism gaining access into body during natural infection induce active immunity. When ready-made antibodies are directly given to protect the body against foreign agents, it is called passive immunity. The yellowish fluid, colostrum, secreted by mother during the initial stages of lactation, or the fetus receiving the antibodies from their mother through the placenta during the pregnancy, are some example of passive immunity. Because this yellow fluid, colostrum, it is having a large amount of antibodies IgA to protect the infect. Because here it is getting already made antibodies from the mother's body, so it is a part of passive immunity. And when it will make its own antibodies, then it will be an active immunity. The principle of immunization or vaccination is based on the property of memory of the immune system. In vaccination, a preparation of antigenic proteins of pathogens or inactivated weakened pathogen vaccines are introduced into the body. So by now you must have understood the part of the immunity: innate, acquired, active and passive immunity. The antibodies produced in the body against these antigens would neutralize the pathogenic agents during the actual infection. So this memory is very important. Once the memory is being developed, it helps to form the antibodies as soon as the infection is there. For that purpose only, vaccines are given, in which a person is given with some deadly microbes to which quick immune response is required. As in tetanus, we need to directly inject the performed antibodies, while in case of other, it is with the help of the recombinant technology and other methods we are preparing vaccines, and these vaccines are actually produces using polypeptides of pathogens in bacteria or yeast for the production of antigenic. This is the case of the tetanus, where the infection is going to be very fast and you cannot wait for your body to produce the antibodies. Then in that particular case, a person is infected with antibodies directly, already made antibodies. Similar in case of the snake bite also, where already made antibodies against the snake venom are given. This type of immunization is called passive immunization, which generate B and T cells that recognize the pathogen quickly or subsequent exposure. Recombinant DNA technology, where the production of antigenic polypeptides of pathogens in bacteria or yeast is being used. Vaccines produced using this approach allow large-scale production. For example, hepatitis B vaccine is produced from the yeast. A body is very easily able to identify the self cells. If some non-self cells or the microbes are coming, this memory is helping to kill those organisms. For that, you are having different places, intestine and other portions which are producing their own identification method. But sometimes, due to genetic and other unknown reasons, the body attacks self cells. This results in damage to the body and is called autoimmune disease. Rheumatoid arthritis, which affects many people in our society, is an autoimmune disease where our own body cells starts killing our body cells. When you have gone to a new place and suddenly you started sneezing, wheezing for no explained reason, and when you went away, your symptoms disappeared. This shows some of us are sensitive to some particles in the environment. The above mentioned reaction could be because of allergy of pollens, mites, etc., which are different in different places. The exaggerated response of the immune system to certain antigens present in the environment is called allergy. The substance to which such an immune response is produced is called allergens. The antibodies produced to these are of IgE type. Common examples of allergens are mites in dust, pollens, animal dander, etc. Symptoms of allergic reactions include sneezing, watery eyes, running nose, and difficulty in breathing. Allergy is due to release of chemicals like histamines and serotonin from the mast cells. For determining the cause of allergy, the patient is exposed to or injected with very small doses of possible allergens. Use of drugs like antihistamine, adrenaline, and steroids quickly reduces the symptoms of allergy. Somehow, modern day lifestyle has resulted in lowering of immunity and more sensitivity to the allergens. More and more children in metro cities of India suffer from allergies and asthma due to sensitivity to the environment. This could be because of the protected environment provided early in life. Too much of the air pollution causes different type of the pollutants in the air which you inhale and causes the respiratory disorders or sneezing, coughing due to the presence of different pollutants in the air. The human immune system consists of lymphoid organs, tissues, cells, and soluble molecules like antibodies. Immune system is unique in the sense that it recognizes foreign antigens, responds to these, and remember them. The immune system also plays an important role in allergic reactions, autoimmune diseases, and organ transplantations. So basically, we can say that the body responses to the secondary immune system where the memories are being created, but it is not always possible to create the memory for the longer time period. Different types of immunities, humoral and cell-mediated immunity, is working throughout your body and causing to produce the responses, and these responses are produced by your lymphocyte cells produced by the lymphoid organs. These are the organs where origin and or maturation and proliferation of lymphocytes occur. They are of two types, primary and the secondary. The primary lymphoid organs are bone marrow and thymus, where immature lymphocytes differentiate into antigen-sensitive lymphocytes. After maturation, the lymphocytes migrates to secondary lymphoid organs like spleen, lymph nodes, tonsils, Peyer's patches of small intestine, and appendix. The secondary lymphoid organs provide the sites for interaction. The thymus is an lymphoid organ, which is larger in case of the newborn babies. And these thymus, having the production of the lymphocytes, keeps on degenerating once it increases in the ages. The bone marrow is the main lymphoid organ where all bone blood cells including lymphocytes are produced. The thymus is a lobed organ. Both bone marrow and thymus provide microenvironments for the development and maturation of T lymphocytes. The spleen is a large bean-shaped organ. It mainly contains lymphocytes and phagocytes. It acts as a filter of the blood by trapping blood-borne microorganisms. Spleen also has a large reservoir of erythrocytes. It is also called graveyard of RBCs because all those erythrocytes or RBCs die comes to the spleen, where broken down and iron is being liberated, and this is being used for making the further organs, RBCs. So it is not only the graveyard of the RBCs, but it is a reservoir for the RBCs. The lymph nodes are small solid structures located at different points along the lymphatic system. Lymph node serves to trap the microorganism or other antigens, which happens to get into the lymph and tissue fluid. Antigens trapped in the lymph nodes are responsible for the activation of lymphocytes present there and cause the immune response. There is lymphoid tissue also located within the lining of the major respiratory tract, digestive and urinogenital tracts called mucosa-associated lymphoid tissue. It constitutes about 50% of the lymphoid tissue in human body. With this, one of the part of your immunity is being over. You have to make the notes in your own language and try to understand the importance of the immunity in this world of corona, because it can only save you from corona.